Hello, welcome to Ekidel, where we train future civil and structural engineers. My name is Fashe Ochet. Today, straight to the point, we want to look at some errors. Let me just outline what we are going to be doing in this video. We want to show you some errors at the same time, or warning, whichever way you might want to refer to it, that can be ignored in Protastructure during your interactive design. There are times you encounter some warning that might want to give you a concern. So those errors that can be ignored or that you can overlook, those errors, we are going to be looking at them, especially on columns and also on beams. Is that okay? So we are going to be looking at that. But before we dive into that, I want to say, if this is your first time, please do us a favor by clicking on subscribe button and also like this video, because the more they like, the more YouTube make this video to go viral. And that is that. And also, we have also come up with we have a mentorship now. We have a mentorship whereby we are going to be teaching you detailing, just like we normally ask you to enroll for our Ekidel mentorship training on structural design. Now we also have what they call course outline. We have already drafted a course outline on how to detail your structural element, up to pile, up to mention them, shear wall, all those structural elements, what do we call it, including basement, how to detail your basement. All those things you'll be taught, you'll be trained just the way we normally train our students on, when it comes to structural design. Those people that have enrolled for our mentorship on structural design, they can testify to how we have moved together and how fantastic the training was. All right, so that is that. So if you want to enroll, you can also enroll for our Ekidel detailing course. It's very, very cheap. It's not expensive. You can also go to our bio. You will also see some of our Ekidel store. You can go to our Ekidel store and see some of this course outline that we have when it comes to detailing. Is that okay? So that you can also enroll, because as good as you may be when it comes to structural design, if you don't know how to detail, that's a great problem. It's as good as you have not known anything, because what you have designed, how are they going to execute it if you cannot detail it properly? So that is why enrolling for our Ekidel detailing course is very, very important for all engineers. Is that okay? All right. That is that. Also, our what do we call it? We have our 2026 Stonebridge detailing template. Is out and is fantastic. We have a lot of new features on this particular software called Stonebridge detailing template. That's 2026 version. Is already out. So those things that we are looking for, they are already, all the structure that are having a different levels of foundation, we have it there. All the structure that we have that we are talking of how to detail a shear wall, we have it there. A lot of things that have been adjusted and have been added to Stonebridge detailing templates. I want to say that try your best and get that software in order to help you when it comes to detailing. It will guide you. Even though you have not done detailing before, I bet you if you can handle that software and follow it, I bet you can detail your structure properly once you are able to do what analyze and design your structure. Even with that, there are some principles that you need to know when it comes to detailing. Is that okay? That is why enrolling for our Ekidel detailing course is very, very important, so that it will be good. You can handle any structural detailing. Is that okay? All right, that is fine. Okay, so we also have Ekidel group, whereby we ask questions and also answer questions. Is that okay? All right, that is fine. So let's now dive into action. So if you look at this now, if I check my design status, this is my design status. If I check, you can see that this structure passed the design. Am I correct? Everything passed what? The design. So if I want to let me also show you how to see your skeletal structure. Is that okay? If you want to see your skeletal structure, how do you see it? You can come to your display. Is that okay? The frame structure. If you want to see it, come to display. Where's my display? Come to this place and remove what? You can see partition wall. I can remove it, and once I remove it, so you can now see. You can see your structural element members. Can you see them? So that is that. Let me bring it up again. All right. So let's now dive into the action. What are those errors or warning that actually you can ignore during your interactive design? So let me now come to story 3, for example. let me come to this place, to the 3 now. So if you look at this, let's start from column. If you look at this particular column, you can see the size. Let's forget about the position now, this eccentricity of this, but because the purpose of this one is to what, is to show you some things that you can ignore. And what led to this size is what I want to explain now. What led to this size is what I want to explain. So now please sit tight, and also before you forget or be carried away by what I will be telling you, I want to say please click on like button and also subscribe if this is your first time. All right, so looking at this now, if you look at it, this place now, I'll click on it, then right click and click on section design. So let's wait for it. Now looking at this one now, if you look at this, what brought about this size is as a result of something. And what is that? So come to this place now. If you look at this place, you can see 0.09 less than what? Less than 1. 0.68 less than what? Less than 1. That is fine. And you can also see that it has shown us our reinforcement. Good and fine. And if you also look at this place, utilization ratio is what? 0.113. Is that okay? All right. So I can click on OK. Now, what led to the increment of this? Initially, this was not the size, but to remove something. There was something that appeared in this place. There was something that appeared here. There was something that appeared. We call it a exclamation mark. Is that okay? I'm going to be explaining it. Is that okay? All right. So I'll come here now. Let's say this is 450. Let's say the size of the column initially is 230. Let me see 230. Okay. Click on this and then reset bar and come here and click on interactive design. So if you look at it, it has still passed the design because there's no warning here. Can you see now? So you can see the warning. You can see the sign. Can you see it? If you can see it very well, can you see it? This sign means exclamation mark. And what does it mean? It means that your structure is going through stress, but not that it's failing. Your structure is not failing at all. Just that it's going through stress. And if you are to follow this in your design, if you are to follow this, I bet you are going to have unnecessary kind of structural element in terms of column. Now we are going to have unnecessary size of structural element where you won't know that even without design, this particular size of column should be able to pass the design. Before you know it, if you follow this, you will discover that you are having a size of column. We are designing a 2-story building, and the column we are having can even carry a, what they call it, a 10-story, 5-story building. Can you see it now? So that is why for this kind of symbol, this part of sign can be ignored only on one condition. I repeat, only on one condition can you ignore this. You can ignore this only one. If this place there's no warning, can you see? Instead of warning, it's showing you reinforcement, which means it's okay. Because if it's not okay, reinforcement will not be provided. That's automatic. That you should know that one. If this place, if this section, the size is not sufficient, this place will not provide any reinforcement here. Rather, what you will see is warning. Either your section is not sufficient or your number of bars is not sufficient. So that is that. And also that's one. And secondly, or thirdly, whatever it is, you can now see your utilization ratio. You know that based on our interactive design principle, our utilization ratio should not be less than, should not be greater than 1, or should not be up to 1 rather. Should not be up to 1, but everything should be 0.9 or 0. If you now look at this one, this is 0.19, not even 0.9, not even 0.8, not even 0.6. This is 0.19. Can you see it now? Which is far from what? 0.9. Can you see it now? So despite that this one have appeared, I want to say this particular symbol can be ignored, since here there's no warning, is giving us our reinforcement. And secondly, this place is less than 1. Automatically our column is okay. And you can also look at this place, you can also see that our ND is okay. Can you see now? Though at times you see this place okay, but here it's not okay. Can you see now? So this place must show okay, and this place must not show you any warning. It must show your reinforcement, and your utilization ratio must be less than 1. Once all of these are complete in terms of utilization ratio less than 1, and here is showing your reinforcement, and this place is okay, irrespective of what's happening here, you can ignore it. That's on column. Are we together? That is on column. That is fine. So I can come here now. Can you see now? I can click on OK. Can you see? Can you see that 450 by 230 is actually okay? Can you see it now? All right, that is fine. So I can now click on OK, and let's see the direction. Okay, can you see it now? So now in this case now it can now be adjusted back. Are we together now? So this place now can be adjusted back. Is that okay? So if you want to adjust it back now, you can now just right click and click on section design and see what is there. So let's turn it to 0. Let's turn this place to 0 now, and let's see. Turn this place to 0, update, and click on what? On OK, and let's see. Can you see it now? Perfect. Can you see now? It has entered the right position. Is that okay? So that is that. So this is how you go about your column, and this is the kind of thing that you have what you can ignore when it comes to column. Is that okay? So some of you might not know. You might have been seeing that and ignore it. That's fine, but you can now know that the only reason why you ignore it is because those things I mentioned are in place. Your no warning, your reinforcement were given, and also utilization ratio was less than 1, and also your ND is okay. Even though that place showing you that is exclamation mark, that can be ignored. Having explained that on column, let's now go for beam. Is that okay? All right, let me now pick this one now. For example, click on this and right click and click on section design. Now, you normally encounter something like this. It will tell you that a bar do not fit in the cross section and whatever. Then let me click on OK, and I'll tell you why. Now, the reason is because, or let me go back. How can I explain this one? Okay, let me come here. Let's go back again. Let me click on OK. Now, despite that it was showing us our warning, that warning or whatever, that we click on OK and it brought us here. Now, if you look at this place now, our principle, you know what we normally talk about here. Is that okay? That this place must not be this extra AS must not be less than Must not be less than 100. At least it should be above 100. Is that okay? And once this place is it's more than 100, and this place must not show you red. So let's now go through this place first. Let's go through this place first. So can we see along this line, no one is showing us red, isn't it? No one is showing us red, and no one is less than 100. Am I correct? That is fine. Now, coming to this place now, we also said it that from your AS minimum top, AS minimum bottom, S backlet top, S backlet bottom, if you look at them, anyone that show you red, no problem. In as much, please listen, in as much, the one that is showing you red is not less than 20. Because what this place is talking about is It's talking about the spacing between your reinforcement. It's talking about the spacing between your reinforcement. Because if the spacing between your reinforcement is less than 20, and you are using your coarse aggregate, you are using a coarse aggregate of 20, automatically that coarse aggregate will not be able to pass through that reinforcement. So that's what this place stands for. So despite that it's showing you red, but in as much as, for example, if you look at this value on 39.7, can you see it now? So it's showing you red, but that red value is not less than 20. That's the space between your reinforcement now is is 39.7. And if you are using a coarse aggregate of 20, automatically it will pass conveniently without any problem. Can you see it now? So that's what this place stands for. And if you look at it now, checking this first one, extra AS, can you see no one is showing us red, approval 1, and no one is is showing us a red, approval 2. So secondly, if you now come to this place now, this place, even though there we have some reds, but those red are not less than 20. That's approval number 2 or 3. So coming to this deflection, if you now look at them very well, you will notice that there's no one that is that is less than. If you look at the difference between them, like this one now, 47.21 minus 8.79. No, it's not less than It's not less than 5. The difference is more than 5. Is that okay? Why we are saying 5 or 4, you can watch our videos. You can watch our videos. We have explained a lot about that. Is that okay? So that is that. So if you look at this, the difference is far more than 5, isn't it? So that is that. All right. So looking at all of this now, you can now see that this particular structure is actually okay. It's actually okay. Let me see if I can reduce this one. Okay, I cannot reduce it to 3. Oh, you can see. Can you see this place now? 34. So I can have to take it back. Take it back to 4. Can you see it now? So that is that. So looking at this one is very, very okay. This design is perfectly okay. Why we are providing this particular sidebar or web bar is because our beam depth is above 600. This is 450. So that such a beam require a web bar based on the principle. Is that okay? All right. That's why we have this. Is that okay? So that is fine. Now, having done that now, I can now click on OK, because looking at this, they are very, very okay. I've checked it. everything here is okay, despite that it's showing me that warning. Let me click on OK now, and then let me wait for it. Okay, I can now click on it back, and then let's now come here and click on what section design. Can you see now? So it's showing me this. Is that okay? In this case now, I can ignore it. Why? Because I've already cross-checked everything is intact. Now, where you cannot ignore it, and why it's showing you that is because of this red. It's because of this red. Is that okay? It's because of this red. If there's no red, it will not show you that. Now, that is fine. And we have told you that since there is showing red, but as long as that red is not less than 20, our structure is okay. Now, it's not okay. If you see that warning now, the only area where you cannot ignore it, it's when all of this one is less than 20. This one is less than 20, and the number of reinforcement here are high. For example, you are talking of a 6Y or 7Y16 or 8Y16 here. Can you see now? Definitely your width of 225 will not be able to contain it. Are we together now? So it means that your width of 225 will not be able to contain that 8Y16. It's too much, isn't it? It's too much. So the spacing between them is as good as there's no space. It's as good as what? There's no space between them. So in that regard now, you will have to come and increase this width from 225 now to maybe let's say 250 or 300. Can you see now? So when you now do that, then you can now say everything is intact. Definitely by the time you do that, this place that was showing you less than 20 before must have come up above what? Above 20. So that is that. That's the only area or reason or aspect in which you will not ignore that warning. It is when this place is less than 20, and your number of reinforcement here is much. That is when, and despite that you have adjusted it, there are still some failure. Then that is when you cannot ignore that warning and go ahead and do what? And increase your width so that it will be able to accommodate the number of reinforcement you are having here. So are we together now? So that is that. So having explained, so I can now come here now and click on OK, and that is that. Let me check again. So having explained, can you see it will show you can this kind of a warning can be ignored. Is that okay? It can be ignored. And why are we ignoring it? I've explained the reason why we are ignoring it, because if you look at everything here, they are intact based on principle. All of them are in line with the principle, and they are working perfectly okay. Is that okay? So that one is a result of this particular red, and we have explained what this red stands for. So we have no cause for what? For alarm. And when you cannot ignore it, I've also explained. Is that okay? When you are having too much number of reinforcement and your width is small, it will not be able to accommodate it. Yes. Or your depth is small. It's deflecting. Those are the reasons why you can ignore it. But after you click on OK and you check all of these things, they are intact. Excuse me. You can let go of that and move on. Is that okay? All right, that is fine. So thank you so much. This is how you go about this kind of one. The other warning that as time goes on, we are going to be explaining to you about them. Is that okay? Even in terms of your link, in terms of link aspect, all of that we are going to be explaining as time goes on. Is that okay? All right, that is fine. So thank you so much. I want to say, in case you have not still clicked on like button, I want to say click on like button and also subscribe if this is your first time. As I have said, we have Ekidel group, and also we have a Ekidel detailing mentorship class now, whereby you can enroll just as you normally enroll for Ekidel mentorship on structural design. Also, we also have Ekidel detailing course. Is that okay? Where you can enroll for you to be taught how to detail your structural element properly. Is that okay? All right. And also our our Stonebridge detailing template 2026 version is out. Is that okay? So the Stonebridge, if you want to purchase, you can get it from our bio. It's very cheap. It's not expensive. Is that okay? Thank you so much. Till we see you next time in our next video. I want to say one love. Keep us together, and bye.